On this edition of the Overtime, NEU football dominated the Skydome with a homecoming victory. Then, NEU men's and women's basketball have tipped off their season with friends reuniting in Tucson. Finally, Coconino football advances in the state playoffs. All that and more on this edition of the Overtime. Hello and welcome to the Overtime. I'm your host, Connor Emery, and today I am joined by Brooklyn Grizzell. Brooklyn, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, Connor. Thank you for asking. We have a loaded show this week, so let's get right into it, starting with some Lumberjack football.
Football is winding down for NEU, and every game is crucial for the FCS playoffs. Coach Brian Wright has said repeatedly that his team needs to go 1-0 every week, and they did just that. Sports reporter Jazelle Contreras is in studio to tell us more about their homecoming game.
Thanks, Connor. It was an electric homecoming game at the Skydome this past weekend. Let's take a look at some highlights. The Lumberjacks wasted no time, striking first with a touchdown pass to Jason Raines. The next drive, Darvin Hubbard bulldozed his way into the end zone to give NAU a 2-score advantage. The Bears finally got on the board and answered back with a touchdown from Brandon Johnson. However, Colby Katzis swung the momentum and made Northern Colorado pay with a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, an explosive play that earned him Big Sky Special Teams Player of the Week. Seth Cromwell powered through the defense for a pair of rushing touchdowns in the third quarter, and Ryan Fontaine put the finishing touch on the victory with his first career rushing touchdown in the fourth quarter. The Jacks put up 5 rushing touchdowns for the first time this season and powered their way to 189 rushing yards. NAU football will be at home this Saturday against Cal Poly. Coach Wright says their preparation for this weekend is key.
What's ideal in my mind right now is just that we play our best football on Saturday and get the result that we're seeking based off having a good plan. Our guys preparing that plan all week, and then us going out and performing at a really high level, and then seeing where it takes us. We don't think about anything else other than that. We don't think about who all we can get in the game. We know these games are very difficult to win every week, and we got to do a great job of getting our guys ready to go play at our best.
I am excited to tune into the game on Saturday as it is senior day. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Giselle. The Lumberjacks sure will be looking for another win this Saturday, and I'm excited to see what they have in store for the Mustangs, who NAU defeated this time last year.
Now moving to the high school level, Coconino football is in the 4A playoffs. They came away with a narrow victory over Mesquite at the last second. Now, Brooklyn, you were at the game. What were your thoughts on it?
Yes, I was, Connor, and it was a nail-biter to say the least. The Panthers' defense had to quickly adapt to quarterback Talon Curry-Smith's passing abilities early on in the first quarter. After a Wildcat touchdown just 3 minutes into the game, the Panthers were not slow to respond, with senior quarterback Jake Hanley throwing for 6 just 5 minutes later. The second quarter followed suit with the Wildcats scoring first and the Panthers not too far behind. It was a score-for-score thriller and neither team let up until the clock ran out. The Panthers' defense was ultimately too overpowering for the Mesquite Wildcats, who camped on Coconino's 7th-yard line until the last second. Panthers head coach Gary Cook expressed that in order to win their next game, they have a lot to clean up, as this game was a lot closer than anticipated. The Panthers' home win advanced them to play their rivals, Bradshaw Mountain, tomorrow in Prescott Valley.
Now, I'm looking forward to this rematch between Bradshaw and Coconino. I was at their first game on October 24th. It came down to the final drive where Bradshaw came out on top to win the 4A Grand Canyon region. I'm expecting another close game between these two great teams.
Now, let's take a look into NAU men's and women's basketball as their seasons open up.
NAU men's basketball recently traveled to Tucson, and head coach Shane Burkar ran into some old friends. I caught up with Burkar and others after the game. While NAU basketball did not come away with a victory over Arizona on Tuesday, it was a reunion between Lumberjacks head coach Shane Burkar and Wildcats assistant Jack Murphy. Murphy was the head coach for the Lumberjacks from 2012 to 2019 before going back to his alma mater as the associate coach. Murphy says he is fond of Flagstaff and Coach Burkar.
I have so many good memories from coaching there. I love Flagstaff. My kids, who are now 16, and 13, spent a long time, 7 years growing up in Flag. We have great friends and memories there. Coach Burkhardt is a good friend. I was able to work with him for 1 year. So it's always difficult when you're coaching against friends and people you care about and the school that you love.
Before coming to NEU, Burkhardt was the head coach at Mesa High. It was Murphy who brought Burkhardt to Flagstaff to join his coaching staff. Burkhardt gave a special message to his longtime friend after the game.
It's always great to see Coach Murphy. I wrote him a note today, and I'm not going to get emotional about it, but he's a special man for me. He took a chance on me. We had a lot of good players. I used to coach at Mesa High, and we had a lot of good players. So when you have a lot of good players, you're a better coach. And he took a chance on me, and we ran with it. And before you know it, he comes down here and becomes the associate head coach for Coach Sean Miller, and I'm the interim. And here I am 6 or 7 years later because of that man.
While Murphy admits there were some hard moments when he coached at NEU, he said before the game that he's always rooting for Burkhardt and the Lumberjacks throughout the year.
I'm really proud of the job that he's done. It's a little tough when you're actually facing him because from my perspective, we really want to win. He really wants to win. But at the end of the day, I'm rooting for them in every other game of the year.
It was also a reunion for Liam Lloyd, who played under Coach Burkhardt from 2022 to 2024. He currently serves as a graduate assistant under his father, Arizona head coach Tommy Lloyd. Tommy expressed his thanks for Burkhardt after the game, saying that he has a soft spot for him.
Shane and a few guys on his staff came up to my house last night, and we've developed a really good friendship over the years. I mean, Shane's a stand-up guy, and he's a guy's guy, and he's fun to be around. And I get to speak from personal experience. I mean, he did everything right by my son, and as a parent, that you appreciate that, and as a coach, you respect that.
Even though the Lumberjacks were defeated 84-49, it was a sweet reunion between Flagstaff friends. Jack Murphy is very fond of Flagstaff. He even told me during the interview that he hopes his 2 daughters attend school at NEU.
Wow, such a small world. Stay tuned because after the break, we will delve into some MLB action right here in Flagstaff.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
Welcome back. Flagstaff native and professional baseball pitcher Avery Weems recently visited his hometown for a youth camp, hosting a pitching camp for kids aged 10 and older, which was the first of its kind in the town.
Sports reporter Brian Adams was able to catch up with Weems last week at the camp. Let's take a look.
Former Coconino Panthers and Texas Ranger pitcher Avery Weems hosted a pitching camp at Coconino High School on November 1st and 2nd. The camp was open to players 10 and older with the intention of teaching them the fundamentals of pitching and giving them the tools and advice that Weems wished he received at their age.
But ultimately, that was my idea, is the things that I've learned over the longevity of my career, I wish I would have known those things way back when. And so if I can start with the 10 to 13-year-olds, 14 to 17-year-olds, high school age, and they can start building routines, having plans, and it's not all the fancy gadgets and gizmos right now.
Weems grew up in Flagstaff and played his senior year of baseball at Coconino before playing college baseball at Yavapai College and the University of Arizona. Due to the lack of baseball facilities, it isn't always easy for Weems to come back to Flagstaff, but the city holds a special place in his heart.
I've always loved my hometown, I would live up here if I could. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of facilities and training and just guys in pro ball for that matter, and that makes it hard. I have to have people to play catch with. Most of the times I'm playing catch with the fence.
Helping Weems at the camp were his former teammate and current Coconino baseball coach Cristo Tabarez and local strength trainer Bridger Hershey of Bridge Performance. Tabarez and Weems have known each other since they started playing youth baseball together and have a close relationship where they can help motivate, work, and humble each other.
You know, I've known Avery since we were 9, 10 playing baseball, and I think my personality and his personality always meshed well. And I think me being able to check him a few times, let him know, hey, let's tone it down, or hey, dude, you need to get back that fire.
Weems is a free agent for the first time in his pro career this offseason, and no matter where his next stop is, he hopes he will still be able to give back to Flagstaff in the future. Brian Adams, NAZ Sports.
What an awesome way for Avery to give back to the community that has helped him become such a great athlete.
We're going to take another break, but don't go away. We will be getting a live update from Rolle Activity Center for NEU Volleyball. Stick around.
Bye-bye.
Hi! Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help.
You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home.
I blew on him.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the
pineapple.
Nope, I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope, I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Welcome back. We have been following Flagstaff High Volleyball all season long.
Sports reporter Ben Sloma joins us to share the heartbreak loss from Flag High.
Thanks, Connor. It's been a long and successful season for the Flag High volleyball team, but their season finally came to an end on Monday in the state quarterfinals.
The Flagstaff Eagles played their final match of the season in a heartbreaking 5-set loss to Micah Mountain in the 4A state quarterfinals Monday. The loss breaks the 18-game win streak the Eagles carried since late September. The match was back and forth, but Coach Beth Hagelin later says it felt the team simply wasn't playing at their best that day.
It just seemed like we just weren't on our A game tonight. Not to take anything away from Micah Mountain. Micah Mountain did a great job. They were very scrappy, picking up a lot of balls, which were we as well, but you can't play a 5 seed in a tough match and expect to do well if that's what it looks like.
The Eagles finished the season with a 33-7 record as they say goodbye to star outside hitter Lily Hartman, along with 4 other seniors who have helped carry forward the culture of the team as many of them take a step up into collegiate-level volleyball.
All of them, I think, bring a lot of intensity. They bring a lot of work ethic. Their parents have taught them so well with their work ethic. They get out there and they just work hard for no matter what the coach asks them to do, they get out there and do it. They're going to carry that into their future and really bring the next level higher because of what they bring to the court for the other teams.
As the seniors depart, Coach Hagelin and the girls will prepare for the beach volleyball season in the spring, as the rest of the team will pick themselves up for another run at a state championship next year.
It's been a pleasure watching this team compete for a state title, and we're already counting down the days until their opening game next year. Let's take it back to the desk.
Thanks, Ben. Such a great season for the Eagles.
Now, NEU Volleyball is also near the end of the regular season as they are gearing up to play Weber State right after the overtime.
Luckily for us, sports reporter Jess Garcia is currently at Rolle Activity Center with ESPN Plus commentator James Malamas to tell us more about the matchup.
Thank you so much, Brooklyn, and thank you, James, for sitting here with me tonight. Now, I'm curious. The Lumberjacks have just reclaimed their spot as #1 in the Big Sky Conference. What do you think you need to see from the rest of their 3 games this season in order to maintain that dominance?
Yeah, well, they've played really well at home, 9-0 this season in the Rolle Activity Center.
Today and on Saturday, very important matches. Idaho State's a very tough team. Not a great record so far, but they have a lot of key pieces. And then they finish on the road at Northern Colorado, which is a very tough matchup. That's where the Big Sky Conference Championship will be. So they get a little sneak peek there in Greeley. But they're a really great defensive team. Top 10 in the nation in terms of opponents' hitting percentage, top 15 in terms of digs per set. So their defense is really what drives the team. So look for a lot of, digs, blocks today's match.
Yeah, and given that 9-0 dominance they've had this year, last year the Lumberjacks against Weber State, they've lost both times with sweeps. What do you think? What differences have you seen in the court that's going to help them overcome that loss streak?
Yeah, it's this team for Northern Arizona. It seems like everybody all around has kind of gotten better. It's not just one or two players that's risen up. They've all improved from last season to this season. Hannah Stoddard is arguably the MVP of the Big Sky Conference. She's taken another leap. Gigi Greenlee in the middle leads the conference in block. So it seems like everybody has kind of taken another step. And there's three seniors right now, Kira Hall, Kylie Moran, and Sophia Wadsworth, arguably playing the best volleyball of their careers at the right time.
100%. Excellent insight. Thank you so much, James. This is Jess Garcia with NAZ Sports. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Jess. I'll be heading my way there after the show. My cousin actually plays for Weber State, but don't worry, I will still cheer for the Lumberjacks while supporting my family.
In other news, Flagstaff High Cross Country, who swept the state meet in 2024, are gearing up for another championship this Saturday at Cave Creek Golf Course. And of course, the NAU Lumberjacks will be competing in the NCAA West Regional in Sacramento tomorrow. The top two teams will automatically qualify for the national championship meet.
Running is huge here in Flagstaff. The boys and girls have won countless number of state titles and look to keep the momentum going.
Now, that's all we have for you tonight. Thank you for joining us on this edition of The Overtime.
I want to thank our sports reporters, Giselle Contreras, Brian Adams, Ben Sloma, and Jess Garcia. And I also like to thank my co-host, Brooklyn Grizzell. Stay tuned on our socials at NAZ Sports on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Connor Emery, and we'll see you next Thursday for the next edition of The Overtime.